I'm delighted to support Chris Alexander. You all know Chris well. He's been working very hard in this riding for a long period of time in order to do our country a great favor, get rid of Mark Holland as a member of Parliament. Personal experience the last 5 years plus, sitting in the House of Commons and in question period and other times, and seeing him get up and make personal accusations, really slanderous things said about other people, other members of the House of Commons, things that he would never say outside of the House of Commons because we have some laws in Canada dealing with libel and slander, that kind of thing. But he has no compunction about getting up in the House of Commons saying the most outrageous, scandalous things about people. And regardless of what political party you happen to be in, that really is intolerable. I know we all feel strongly, the group that we have on the Conservative Party benches now, that we're looking forward to welcoming Chris Alexander as a delightful replacement. Serving the House of Commons on behalf of Durham Region, the great Durham Region, Bev Oda in the Durham riding, Colin Carey in Oshawa, me in Whitby, Oshawa. We have a gap here. We have to fill in Ajax-Pickering with a strong Conservative member of Parliament to join our team. Make sure we paint Durham Region blue. It would be a lovely color to have on the map after the election on May coming up for all of us in Canada is between a Conservative government led by Prime Minister Stephen Harper and a coalition government led by Michael Ignatieff. And I'm not being theoretical about that. A week ago Friday in the House of Commons, all three of them didn't bother reading the budget that we had worked on for 4 months, the long-term plan for our country, get us back to balanced budgets. They didn't even bother reading it. They had decided beforehand quite clearly they were going to get together and defeat the government, and that's what they did. Despite the fact, of course, that we had the largest number of seats, and the voters voted that way for us. And it happened before. It happened at the end of November, beginning of December 2008, where I had Mr. Mulclair, the finance critic for the NDP, sitting in my office. I remember back then saying, well, you're the finance minister for now. We're taking over. We're getting certain ministers from the NDP and so on. They were taking over the government as a group, as a coalition. More than 2 years ago, as I say, they voted as a coalition just 10 days ago to cause this election, which nobody wants. I know Chris has been knocking on doors. I've been knocking on doors in Whitby and Oshawa this past week. Nobody wants this election, and they understand that we didn't cause it, that we wanted to continue governing the country, and we have a good long-term plan for the country. I'm going to spend a little bit of time this weekend doing some arithmetic. We've already done some on the platform that we're going to see from the Liberal Party of Canada. As we all know, promises cost money. And what we're seeing is a good old-fashioned Liberal campaign, a promise a day, more money every day that the government doesn't have, but they know that the taxpayers have it, and they're going to take it from all of us and spend it on big new spending programs. They're going to put us back into deficit, back into a structural deficit, and we're going to start to look like some of the countries around the world that are in a lot of trouble, including Spain and unfortunately Ireland and Portugal and countries like that, the huge deficit and debt in the United States. I'm so proud to represent Canada at finance meetings around the world where I hear finance minister after finance minister. I heard Tim Guyton from the Secretary of the Treasury of the United States last week in Calgary at our meetings talking about virtuous Canada, how Canada has shown the world how to fight their way through a recession, be in a strong place going in, and come out of it strongly. As you know, we've regained all of the jobs that we lost in the recession in Canada, and none of our competitors, none of the other advanced economies have accomplished that. So be proud to be It's a great time to be a Canadian. It's a great time for people like Chris and I and Dean to have the opportunity to put our platform, our budget in front of the Canadian people and ask them to vote on it. And I am so looking forward to two things on May the 2nd. One, greeting the new Member of Parliament for Ajax-Pickering, Chris Alexander, and secondly, a majority government in Canada.